What's up, brewskis? My name is Marco Dupa, and with me, as always, the great and powerful Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
Yeah, boy.
Tonight's brew is from the Big Storm Brewing Company. The Blueberry... Fuck! The Blueberry Lemon Tart Ale. Brewed right here in sunny FLA, 5.7 ABV. You went and picked this up straight from the source, yeah?
I did. I plucked it right off of a tree.
All right, well, what we have on tap for you guys, I had my metal show virginity taken.
Very nice.
And it was gentle, surprisingly gentle and kind, and it was just a nice experience.
That's nice.
Yeah. You will witness the return of the fabled trailer trash.
Trailer.
And Tarantino's last film, will it be Kill Bill Volume 3? Who knows? Even he doesn't seem to know. But we're going to tackle that and more on, this is, what is this, 329?
I believe so.
Of the One Baron podcast.
Huh! Oh, yeah. Huh! Oh, you gotta take a sip.
Lost to be found by someone to save you when you're down. Yes, I'm bored when it's bright out. So bored when it's bright out. 4 to 5 a.m. takes me to a place where
I'm so sick of just every song I hear on TikTok.
I don't even know what that is.
It's one of those TikTok trends where the beat, they start saying something. So the last one I watched, this girl was doing like intrusive thoughts, and so she'd be sitting there and like the beat's like boom, 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 and every time that it hit on the kick, it was like
until it distorts.
It would freeze and distort, and then it would say something that was like a misdirection to the intrusive thoughts thing was like each time it did it. God, you just have to watch it. I'm just like butchering.
Don't
this.
explain the TikTok.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Is that the new like you just can't explain the joke?
Yeah, no.
Like you just can't explain the
TikTok.
TikTok.
You can't do it.
Yeah, yuck. This is the One Baron podcast, the podcast where two brews crack open a brew and see where that one brew takes us. And Adam, please, if you would do us the honor of explaining a little bit more about tonight's brewski.
Oh, sure. This guy is brewed in Florida. It's from the Big Storm Brewing Company. It's called the Blueberry Lemon Torte Ale, brewed with fresh blueberries from Southern Hill Farms in Claremont, Florida. It's a 5.7% ABV. I went to that farm to celebrate Sherry's birthday. Say hi, Sherry.
Hello.
Hello. Happy birthday.
Yay! She's currently in a cave right now. You can't hear her. Anyway, we do have a cold read on this bad boy. And it goes as follows. Southern Hill Farms is a family-owned and operated U-Pick and commercial farm in Claremont, Florida. Our mission is to create a space to make lasting memories across generations and give you the chance to know your local farm and love your local farmer. That sounds like they're hitting on you. Brewed with flavorful blueberries fresh from our fields, this copper ale bursts with vibrant blueberry sweetness, balanced by the addition of refreshing lemon peel. This beer is reminiscent of Miss Lisa's famous blueberry lemon torte.
All right.
So there you have it.
I can taste Miss Lisa right now. Wait.
Refreshing.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Not that bad.
Not that bad. Ding. So yeah, excuse me. If you've been following this show for any amount of time, I think, well, not any amount of time, but a good amount of time, you'll know that metal or heavier music, I guess I should describe it, is sort of a glaring blind spot in my musical I don't know.
repertoire.
Yeah. And honestly, if it weren't for working at Red Light and being with my partner, who I'm with now currently, unless
Right
she,
now? This second?
unless she figures out, unless she wises up, you know what I'm saying?
Until she listens to this podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
I probably would have never. I just would have just gone on my merry way of just not diving in at all.
Hmm.
So, how much metal music do you listen to? How much of that? How much of that shit?
Not a lot. I'll have times where I'll dip a toe. Frankly, a lot of it recently has been through video game soundtracks, which is very nerdy to admit. But both of the recent Doom game soundtracks are just chock full of heavy riffs and intricate drums, and I love that stuff. It's very nice.
I love that shit.
And obviously, growing up, one of my first exposures to heavier music was Devil May Cry. So I followed those as well. But outside of that, my brother was always big into metal when I was younger. So he was my main exposure point, unfortunately, to a lot of the let's be kind and say crappier of the genre, the more commercial butt rock of the late 90s to early 2000s.
This is you being kind?
Yeah, I could be worse about a lot of that music. Guilty pleasures, though. I still like a lot of that, the Papa Roaches out there.
Right.
Even the Limp Biscuits, if you will, from time to time.
Of course.
But yeah.
The Limp Biscuits, if you will.
You had to be there.
Definitely had to be there.
But no, I don't listen to a ton of current metal and heavy music.
Yeah.
I think the last metal, it's kind of metal adjacent, album I bought was probably from The Sword. They're kind of stoner rock, though.
Okay.
I don't know. The proliferation of all these sub-genres of rock are kind of confusing unless you're in the thick of it.
Yeah.
So
No, I mean, you honestly could have made up all of those band names and just, you would have washed right over me.
Yeah.
So, well, all that being said, I had the privilege to attend my first heavy metal show in the form of Knotfest, which apparently is a thing that Slipknot does. I didn't know that that's what it's called until I saw the merch, and I was like, oh, that's what we're doing? That's why we're here? So, courtesy of Steve, inventory manager extraordinaire
Shout out
at
to Steve.
Red Light,
Yes.
who I've become friends with, he had an extra ticket and was like, you want to go? And I was like, all of this is going to be lost on me, right? And he was like, yeah, but I think it'd be a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Slipknot, it's a spectacle to behold.
Sure.
It's not. It's a show. So you could not really, as long as you can kind of tolerate it, I guess. You can get into just being there. The show.
As long as you're not offended by the actual noise. Of
Yes,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
And so I was like, fuck it, let's do it. So we made a whole fucking day of it. Went to a couple breweries out there in Tampa.
Got it.
That's where it was being held.
You got it.
Actually, in the amphitheater that we saw Big Guava, where Big Guava was.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
I know. What a good year.
Dude, when I got there, and I realized where I was. I just kind of looked around.
You had like a sense memory?
Yes.
You had like acid flashback?
And it all just like morphed into, and I was like,
start crying. Where's from the jewels? Are we here to see the Strokes?
Right there.
I saw the Alchemist.
And so we go. I got to see a couple bands that I never would in a million years, honestly, take the time to sit down and listen to because I'm a dick.
No, you're just focused on what you like. We talked about this with the entire Spotify, Apple Music conversation.
Yeah, that's true.
We're just highly focused in on what we like, and we drill deep on that.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So the bands, we missed the first band. I don't even know who they were. So sorry, guys. But the band after that was Fever 333, which is apparently like some super group, rapcore group. It was put together by a bunch of other bands.
Interesting.
And so they were like the second opener, and they I mean, honestly, dude, what I come away from this with is how good I thought Fever 333 was. They were fucking awesome. We'll get to my reactions, but
Okay.
Fever 333, Kill Switch Engage,
Mhm.
which I'm told is sort of dad rocky when it comes to all of this.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, I have no context
I mean,
for
just
it to be different than.
just knowing that I know the name of that band is probably enough to say, like, yeah, they're probably like the quote unquote sellouts of that entire thing. You know,
Yeah. And then, obviously...
no shade. I don't know them personally.
But fuck them, though. Slipknot is the... Slipknot, obviously, the headliners.
Right.
And, so, first of all, the whole thing was really well done. Merch was good. I like cool, dope design. I mean, metal designs are always fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what the band is.
Sure.
They always seem to have a dope-ass design for their merch. Everybody seemed pretty cool. Like, crowd was good. Everybody was into it, so that's always fun. You didn't get people kind of sitting down, not really getting into it. Everybody was pretty, down with the sickness, if you will.
Okay. I know that reference.
See, I know some stuff, guys. I know some stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, reactions.
Uh-huh.
Fever 333.
Mhm.
They were awesome.
Okay.
They were. I liked the stuff that the guy was saying, the stuff that I could understand.
Make out. Yeah.
The stuff that he was saying in between the songs was really cool about inclusion and POCs in these predominantly. I wouldn't say predominantly white spaces, but like thought to be predominantly white spaces.
Maybe traditionally white.
Traditionally white spaces. That was really cool to feel seen.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like looking around like, oh, did he see me? And like those Mexicans over there, and like
I
those
feel
black dudes over there.
less threatened.
Yeah.
Nice.
No, it was really nice. I found out later on that he is half black, so that's probably why he seems to be aware of his space or his the space that he's taking up in that space, I guess. So they were cool. Kill Switch Engage kind of, I don't know, washed over me. I just had no frame of reference for them. So like even Slipknot, at least I know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard some of their songs. Seeing them is, like Steve said, a spectacle.
Sure.
Them being all dressed up and the show that they put on and the whole thing was like mind blowing just to witness. Kill Switch Engage was just like another band there. And I was like, I mean, they didn't really stand out. Fever 333 had their thing. Kill Switch was just there. Slipknot comes on and it's like, it's a fucking
full on show.
Yeah. Dude's got all the masks on and stuff. Like,
very Halloween-y.
It was awesome.
It's good.
The lead guitarist, man, he's wearing like that metal mask and he's just like looking around. Like,
it's like Metalocalypse.
I fucking loved it. Yeah, no, it was awesome.
Nice.
It was a good time. It was a good time. So has it opened the door to me listening to more heavier music? I mean, the show, I guess inadvertently, because I did check out Fever 333 afterward and was impressed by what I heard. I think it's mostly just, I would say, the show kind of cracked the door a little bit.
Mm.
Paris is obviously opening the door a little bit, inch by inch. Steve, relentlessly. Well,
you're going to listen to this.
Yeah. So
for a full 8-hour shift.
So there's that. I'm getting into it. So I will report back after my findings with some of this other stuff.
Yeah. Well, look, I like a lot of the sounds that I've heard from a lot of metal. I just don't know where to look for it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you find anything good, I expect you to report back to me so I can therefore investigate further.
Will do.
I'm into it. I'm interested.
Yeah.
I'm ready. willing and able. So let me know.
All right, I got you.
All right.
All right. I warned you guys what was coming,
Uh-oh.
and so here we are. We finally, after months and months of just having this teaser dangled in front of us,
Mhm.
and we just have to speculate on what we're going to see. We get the cast, we get some images from the movie, and we obviously got the teaser that's just been just like a carrot, just right outside of your reach. We finally get a full, actual trailer for the Batman. This is trailer trash.
Trailer trash.
Matt Reeves, the Batman.
The Batman.
The Batman.
Mm-hmm.
With just an insane cast. Robert Pattinson.
Zoe
Kravitz.
Colin Farrell.
Paul
as the
Dano.
Penguin. Paul Dano is Riddler. Jeffrey Wright is Gordon.
Right.
Andy Serkis as Alfred.
Yeah.
I didn't know John Turturro was in this.
Yeah, it's just a killer cast.
Wow. Peter Sarsgaard.
Yeah.
That guy.
Peter Sarsgaard. That. Who's that? Barry Cogan? What's
I don't think he's not listed as a specific character, but he's a well-known character actor. So I think he may have
might be doing something.
maybe like a secret character that we don't yet know about.
Yeah. Well, it's out. We've both witnessed it. Adam, what did you think, man?
I want more. I mean, it. I think it did about as well as it could for me. I was left only wanting to watch the full movie, and I think that's what any good trailer should leave you with.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they showed too much. I think a lot of the plot is still a bit of a mystery.
Yeah.
And I like the little shades we're getting of all the characters, of the Riddler and of Penguin, and we get a little like preview of Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman.
Yeah.
And I'm liking everything I'm saying. I like. I mean, we were talking about this before, but the one thing I would say was lacking from Nolan's trilogy was in the action, specifically the fight scenes, the choreography. And from what they've shown so far, it is, exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Visceral, brutal, again, you're able to see all the action.
Yeah.
It's not all the shaky cam and like super close-ups of just elbows and fists. I love what the action looks like in this movie. I like that it looks mostly practical. I like the kind of gritty tone they're going with that feels distinct and, like it's kind of, it clearly influenced by what came before, but I feel like it does have its own kind of flavor.
Yeah.
So, I'm impressed so far. I don't want to get overly excited because I don't want to get disappointed, but
yeah,
I think they knocked out the park with this one.
Yeah, with the trailer for sure. I like, Colin Farrell's take on Penguin. I was very surprised because we've only seen him. We haven't actually heard him.
Yeah.
And he's like, nah, I'm going to play him New York, like old 20s New York gangster. I'm not going to play him as what probably would have been way easier for him, which is English like he is in the comics. He's like, nah, I'm going to play it differently. I'm going to go in a completely different direction with this. And I think it appears that that's going to work better in this movie.
Yeah.
In this dark, gritty, visceral tone that they're setting. Mm-hmm. That's going to work better. And Paul Dano is just a genius. Yeah. So,
and he comes off really creepy.
Yeah.
Even with just a little bit that he has. Like the fact that they're making the Riddler seem almost like a Unabomber type character.
Or like the fucking Zodiac.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting take.
Which is really cool. And they kind of got lucky because now it's kind of timely. That people kind of have those things on their mind.
Sure.
And then this character going to be, the main villain of this movie. And also, Matt Reeves has been talking about how you haven't seen the detective side of Batman, really. He's the world's greatest detective, and he hasn't really been utilized in such a way.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically just been this brawler
with gadgets.
Yeah. And so it seems like nothing has ever come as a challenge to him mentally.
Mm-hmm.
It's always been physically, he's had to overcome these things, but he's never been challenged in such a way. If you really think about it, when was the last time? It was really when they had Riddler, Jim Carrey's Riddler, that there was ever any even kind of
mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for the most part, he's just been he's known all the answers the whole time,
or just stumbled upon the answer.
Yeah,
like with Talia. It's like,
yeah. Right.
Oh, what?
Oh.
You stabbed me. I thought you loved me.
And he's always been kind of seasoned and weathered for the even in Batman Begins, what were the real growing pains? Once he got the right gadgetry, it was just he was just Batman.
Well, funny enough, I think with that movie we maybe didn't get enough of him as just old Bruce without, all the training and stuff.
Yeah.
It was very quick from Bruce to, all right, now he's, in this mystical world and land.
He could have just been the majority of the movie could have been him, being Bruce, then being trained, then being a really shitty Batman.
Yeah.
Up until the very, very end.
Well, that's kind of what Year One is about, the comic.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that would have been better.
And I think it would have worked. And then in the second movie, now you've got a seasoned Batman, and then he gets a better suit because now it makes more sense.
Well, because Begins, tell me if I'm wrong, but a lot of that was basically, okay, he's Bruce Wayne, he wants revenge, he doesn't get it, he goes into training to save Gotham by going on this mystical quest.
Yeah.
Trains with the League of Assassins.
Yeah.
And then is Batman, essentially.
League of Shadows.
Right there, he becomes Batman.
Yes.
The only thing that improves in that time, basically, is his tech. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think especially because nobody's going to be able to understand it. So that's perfect.
And that's, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, he is now Batman.
Right. I don't think
Very quickly.
We don't see him really, I don't think, learn much in that time. It's just...
No, there's the parts after he comes back into town and he's kind of putting his suit together. And there's that one scene where he
has a ski mask on.
Yeah, and it's jumping from building to building and crashing into shit. And then there's I guess there's a moment where doesn't he get lit on fire at some point in that movie?
Yeah, the Scarecrow lights him on fire.
Yeah, yeah.
But again,
that's right, because that's when he's on the roof. Alfred.
It hurts. Oh God, being the Batman hurts. Please,
come pick me up.
It's raining.
What do you mean? Who is this? Who else has this number?
That's right. Yeah, but that's my point though. Is sure he gets bested, but his solution to that is just to work on his technology, which I understand is an aspect of Batman. I'm not trying to take anything away from that. And again, I'm criticizing a movie I love. But
Batman Begins would have worked better. Well, not worked better, but if you wanted to introduce the detective side of Batman, it would have worked better to have us not know who Crane was.
Sure.
He would have had to figure that. That should have been a part of the movie. Investigating who the Scarecrow was,
or Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah, because he's gifted that information too at the end.
Yep.
So he never has to figure anything out. And then in the second movie, he's trying to figure out who Joker is, but then like the whole bit about Joker is the fact that he's nobody.
Yeah. He's an
just
enigma.
Literally just appeared and has no past, no nothing. He has no agenda. He's just a psychopath.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's that. And then in the third one, again, he's just gifted with all of the information. He doesn't need to know who Bane is. They tell him who he is.
Yep.
Then Talia, stabs him. So, he's just gifted all this information.
He stumbles his way through the plot.
He does. He really does.
Yeah.
And kind of takes away from... He doesn't seem as... He never strikes me as a genius.
No.
He strikes me as a guy who, just has a bunch of tech. Because most of the tech is made by fucking...
Fox.
Fox, yeah. Anyway, so this should be a good opportunity. A young Batman, inexperienced, angry, brutal, but also hyper-intelligent. And Riddler's the perfect villain to be like, you can't punch your way out of this.
Yeah.
You're going to have to figure this out.
I'm smarter.
I'm smarter than you.
Yeah.
So that should be fun.
I hope that is the conflict, though. I really hope that is, the main idea behind the movie is that he has this brutal ferocity, but he can't win anyway, just with that.
Yeah. And it kind of introduces what makes him the world's greatest detective.
Uh-huh.
Is that he has to use his big old brain.
His bat brain.
His big old bat brain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or it could just be like all the other Batman movies and still be really fucking awesome.
Sure. I mean, it looks great. So even if it's dumb as rocks, it's probably going to look pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I really liked, I think Matt Reeves did the Planet of the Apes trilogy, right?
Yeah.
The new ones?
Yeah.
Big fan of those. So I have a lot of hope.
Oh, yeah. I have a lot of faith in Matt Reeves.
Yeah.
A lot of faith. I think he'll do really well with this. He's just a great director.
Yeah.
And then, you get Andy Serkis as Alfred. You're just like, come on, man.
And I just read John Turturro is Carmine Falcone.
Well, there you go.
So
Even better.
that's pretty good.
You get some mob bosses. You get some Alfred Pennyworth.
Mm-hmm. Some Penguins.
Some Penguins.
Riddler.
Then you get a sexy ass Catwoman. And their whole thing. Their whole
They're a thing.
They're a thing.
They're a thing.
So
Are we shipping it?
I ship them.
I ship them too.
So yeah, should be good. I'm can't wait. I can't wait. And they just at this point they've reaffirmed, I don't need to see the third and final trailer. That's
No.
reveal the entire plot. I don't need to see it. So
Yeah, I've
Gonna
seen.
ignore it.
I've seen just enough.
Yeah.
I'm good.
yes, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. All right. Speaking of movies, speaking of seeing just enough, we're now at a point in Tarantino's career where have we seen just enough? He's done 9 out of 10 films.
Mm-hmm. It's planned 10 at least.
It's planned 10.
Right.
And he was recently in an interview, or being interviewed rather, and the interviewer, get out of here. Oh, that was. Interviewer asked him about his last movie, the fabled 10th film,
Right.
and if it could somehow maybe be Kill Bill Volume 3. And, well, I'll let you say what he said because I didn't actually read it.
Well, I mean, I feel like they're making much ado about nothing in this interview, unfortunately, because I really want a Kill Bill 3, which I think would be a nice little, cherry on top of his career.
Yeah.
But essentially, he said, the interviewer asked him, well, do you think your last movie could be Kill Bill 3? And he said, I don't really know. Why not? So, essentially, he was saying, I don't know, but it's not out of the question.
Yeah. Which is just enough
to make the headlines. But he also did say, in that same interview, he would like to do a really traditional take on a spaghetti western. Some people are claiming it would be like a comedy, but he wanted to do it in the sense of everyone on the set knows a different language because they're all from different places. Like the old timey spaghetti westerns were, if you don't know, a lot of them were shot in Italy on the cheap using a Babylonian tower of different languages and people from different places because they just kind of grabbed whoever they could for the cast at the time. And that led to, if you look at Good, Bad, and the Ugly, that entire trilogy, their mouths don't move with the words.
Yeah.
It's all done after the fact and done in voiceover because of that. But he's clearly a fan of the old Western, so it makes sense that he'd want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But, that being said, rolling with the headlines that they've been printing, would you be okay with a Kill Bill Volume 3 being his last movie, or would you want something else?
Man, I have always been particular to his crime stuff in the beginning of his career. Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, Reservoir Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff really gets my rocks off.
Mm-hmm.
And so, if it were up to me, I would have him go back and do something in that universe.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe something to confirm that those two movies are indeed connected.
Okay.
Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction. Because that's always been the rumor that the suitcase this is my favorite theory. This is the one that's been floated the most, and it's also been the one that Tarantino gets kind of cheeky about, where he's like, "Oh, I like that. I don't know, maybe." That what the robbers in Reservoir Dogs actually stole was Marcellus Wallace's soul that he had sold to the devil.
Mm. And
the deal with the nerds in Pulp Fiction is what kind of goes awry, and they're like, we know we fucked up, we were meaning to pay him back, and all this blah blah blah. We don't get the details of how the deal goes awry, but somehow they got their hands on the stuff that the Reservoir Dogs stole, and they were supposed to give it back to Marcellus, and they didn't. And that's why you never see what's in it. And that's why every time it opens up, it's like, it's not gold, it's his soul. And that's why when Vincent Vega sees it, he's speechless. He wouldn't be speechless over a bunch of money. He's seen money.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be speechless over
It's
gold because it's like, whatever. It's just, it is what it is. We know that when he goes to buy that Heron, that the motherfucker pulled out a brick of money. So money ain't shit to him. So see something that left him speechless has to be something
really
almost
special.
Metaphysical,
if
you will.
Yeah.
I like that theory a lot. So
the entire time the heist is planned.
The heist is supposed to be like the misdirection. They go in, steal the jewels and shit, but what they're really there for is Marcellus's soul. I don't know how it got there, but that's the theory.
Yeah, because
he sold it. He sold his soul to the devil, and then he was retrieving it. Basically pulling a fast one on the devil.
Through the characters of Reservoir Dogs?
Hiring them. He employed them to get it
his
back.
soul back. Yeah.
So, I don't know how the white dudes in Pulp Fiction are involved. I think I don't know. Maybe they're the crippled, weird, wheelchair planner character of the heist genre, if you will.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how all of that connects.
Okay.
But
yeah, I could follow that.
Yeah. Which I love that the most.
Well, then let me ask you this, because I agree that would be awesome, even though I've been on record as saying Kill Bill is top 3 for sure of Tarantino for me. Would you prefer a brand new story, or would you prefer a sequel or connecting tissue movie of some kind for his final film?
I guess if the original story is something, I mean, he's been doing this really like, okay, Once Upon a Time and Inglourious Bastards, very, like I love that this Tarantinoism of going back and just rewriting history
Sure.
and just playing with it. That's fun. So I guess if he did one more movie like that, his last movie, I would like him to dip his toe back into. I honestly, I'm with you. I would prefer it to be Kill Bill Volume 3, probably.
Yeah.
If I had a vote, I would vote against any kind of Western.
Okay.
Not that I don't like Westerns. I love Westerns.
Well, he's done a Western.
He's done 2.
Yeah.
Django and Hateful Eight are
That's true, yeah. And, some people call Kill Bill Volume 2 a neo-Western.
yeah.
So
yeah.
I can squint my eyes and see that.
Yeah, so let's say 2.5.
Yeah.
Say 2.5. So I'm done with that.
Mhm.
I don't want any more of those.
That's not including all the Western parts in Once Upon a Time.
Right?
Because
Yeah.
that's its own little thing, too.
Exactly. He's very, as we know, being fans of Tarantino, very partial to Sergio Leone and just spaghetti westerns
Corbucci.
and all that stuff. So I would prefer that he left that alone.
Mhm.
I think we've turned that stone. We've turned that stone a couple of times now. And just 2020. Well, whenever he would make it, 2024, 2025, or whatever.
Probably, yeah.
I want to see a fucking western.
Another
No,
one. Another one.
another one.
I mean, I would still watch it, obviously.
I mean, of course I would. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. But
Yeah.
have you
Yeah.
gone back and watched the extended cut of Hateful Eight?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
It's a lot. It's a lot of content.
I've been wanting to watch it, but like the more that I watch Hateful Eight, the more that I like that movie, the
Mhm.
more that my opinion on it has softened.
Yeah.
And in fact, it's kind of hard for me to call it his worst movie. The way that I look at it now is like it's just not as good as the other ones, but to say it's his worst is hard for me because it's a
Yeah.
good movie. It's
Yeah.
a really good
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, I've come around to it, too. It's kind of bubbled up and down that, quote, worse movie moniker.
So, I guess technically, if we're counting, not Planet Terror, but
Death Proof?
Death Proof.
Mhm.
Death Proof's got to be his worst, right?
I think so. I think so, just because it's. I think it's his least cohesive and coherent. The highs of that movie are incredible, and the lows I feel are some of the lowest of his entire filmography.
Yeah.
But that being said, like it's still better than most movies. I don't know. I love it. I still really enjoy the movie. It's slow in parts, but it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It needs to be
Yeah.
in order for it to pay off. But tonally and narratively, it's kind of all over the place for me.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's. Yeah, I would say it's his weakest.
Yeah, I guess weakest is a better way. The worst movie just always feels too
Like harsh.
Yeah, because it's not. I like it too. It's not. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm just saying like if you have to rank all of his movies,
Yeah.
it has to be the lowest one. But yeah, I feel the same. It's like there's moments in that movie where I'm like, this is incredible,
Mhm.
and then there's other moments where I'm like, it is what it is. It's
Yeah.
a movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah, ranking wise, I think it has to be the lowest.
Yeah.
And I would put Hateful Eight now above that.
Mhm. Yeah, I think so. And that's coming from a car guy. I love all the car
Coming
scenes.
from a guy.
Car guy.
He's a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would hope that he doesn't do anything like that. I hope that he doesn't do any. I hope we're done with westerns. My vote would be to either dip your toe in a movie that he's done already. So either Kill Bill Volume 3 or maybe some kind of like Pulp Fiction Chapter 2, something like that. To kind of, I've always had this thought in my head of kind of fantasy booking a movie, fantasy casting a movie.
Uh-huh.
I had this idea that he could do Samuel L. Jackson, bring him back as Jules,
Mhm.
and he's this like old weathered hitman. Like he never got out of life like he wanted to when he found out that Vincent was murdered.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't have affected him because they were just hitmen, and that was his friend. But like you can't let that kind of stuff affect you because
Sure.
it happens all the time. But like he couldn't shake it, and so the film is about him basically trying to track down Butch.
Yeah.
Which I thought would be really cool.
Yeah.
Butch is like this old, he's old punched up boxer. He's in Romania or somewhere. Like he's made it out. He's living this life. Jules has not been out of the life, so he's been steady killing people while at the same time always inching closer and closer to Butch.
Yeah.
But then again, I guess that has this weird old man action payoff
Sure.
that is kind of
very cheap and like
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I guess it would have worked 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, I would like. I picture that movie ending with Butch killing Jules because, of course, he would. Because you can't be happy.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Because Butch didn't really deserve anything he got.
Yeah,
and that's the way that story would go.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like just Butch just not getting killed, like just the whole time.
He's happy he has kids.
You want
and a family.
Jules to get his revenge for Vincent.
He's like sloppy and like chubby and old, and just gets lucky and kills him.
Yeah, just like he always does.
Yep.
Just like he did in his boxing career.
Uh-huh.
Just like he did the whole time. That'd be good.
Yeah,
we should just make that movie.
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree with you as far as wanting a sequel. I'm kind of craving a sequel, and I think Kill Bill Volume 3 would make the most sense because I think Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 lead to a sequel most easily out of everything he's done.
Yeah.
There's clearly threads to follow up on. He's talked about bringing back characters and casting Mia Hawke.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
I think she'd be great.
Yeah. So
don't do any fucking prequels.
No,
please,
we don't.
For the love of God,
we don't need that anymore.
I'm
We're
so
over
sick
prequels.
of prequels, man.
We're in a post-prequel world.
I mean, we're not though.
We're living in the first movie.
Are
now.
we? Are we
Yeah.
though? Because Black Widow just came out and was a huge movie.
But that was a movie that was in the works for a long time before it came out.
I mean, it should have just come out. They shouldn't have even done it shouldn't have been a prequel.
It should
have just come out before Endgame, so that it could have just been a movie.
Exactly. And we would have had more context for that character. Because it wasn't a bad movie. It was a good movie. But it was decent. But I think it would have helped out a lot with adding even more to Endgame.
They waited so long to give her, and it's so confusing.
Well, and for what?
Right.
For what?
Why did they wait so long?
I mean, it was all the negotiations.
Scarlet,
they didn't want to give her the money.
Probably. That's probably what it was. She was probably playing hardball, bro.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can imagine. Obviously, misogyny is another thing I can imagine.
Sure. Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense, though, because she, outside of the MCU, she was a hugely bankable star.
Of course.
Still is.
Yeah.
I just don't get how they squandered that.
I mean, apparently they played nice enough to, I would think, be able to use her character sometime in the future if they want to.
They could have made a Black Widow movie after Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
I believe.
That would have been perfect.
I strongly believe.
That would have been perfect.
She gets set up in Iron Man 2 as a fucking badass.
Yep.
And then you go, now she gets her standalone movie.
Mm-hmm.
Now you've done it already. You've already. It's so funny to me that these studios like Marvel get this credit for breaking down these barriers, and yet they could have done this shit so much longer ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Squid Game, for instance, is being credited as a movie or a show, rather. Sorry, that is proving that you don't need an all-white cast to be successful. And I saw this person tweet this, and they were like, that gets proven every year.
Yeah.
And we're at a point now where Hollywood just doesn't give a shit.
Just not paying attention.
Because we don't need this proven to us anymore. Yeah. It's been getting proven for the past 20 years. There's a movie that comes out and they go, Look at that. Don't need an all-white cast. I mean, fucking Black Panther, fucking Crazy Rich Asians. Like, it happens every year.
Oh, yeah.
Where we have this conversation.
That's the thing. It's like, once it's proven, quote unquote, then they feel it's safe to do it, like with Shang-Chi. You know?
Yeah, but they could, I mean, again, we already know this. There's been successful movies years and years and years.
Yeah.
It's not that we need to be shown POCs as the lead characters in these movies. Hollywood doesn't care. The people who bankroll these movies do not care. They have, and Matt Damon actually talked about this, they have a set list of guys and girls that they go, these are our bankable stars right now. In 2020, if I put Chris Evans in a movie, if I put Chris Pratt in a movie, or put any Chris in a movie, I'm guaranteed I'll be fine. Then they have a couple of black dudes that they're like, Denzel's still bankable, Will Smith still bankable, Michael B. Jordan, he's having his moment right now. Jamie Foxx, sort of, not really as bankable as he used to be. You know, then there's the insulary white dudes like the Matt Damons and the Benedict Cumberbatches, where you're like, I could bankroll an indie hit on this guy, or like a more interesting movie,
right?
And that's what it's built on, because again, it's already been proven 1,000 times over that you can just have a movie filled with an incredibly diverse cast, and if the movie is good, it will work.
Sure.
Parasite, just 2 years ago?
2 years ago, yeah.
A non-English language movie. And like the director, obviously his famous quote about being able to get over that 2-inch bar on the screen.
Read subtitles.
But and the thing is we have been for years.
Yeah.
It's not the consumer. It's these banks and these financiers who are the ones who are going, I'm not going to give you any money if there's not a white dude in this movie.
Yeah, and I think the problem is a lot of that is unfortunately based on the viewer and the consumer.
But it's not, though.
Well,
because if you look at the movies that are successful, whenever they don't do that, they just go, wow, what a surprise success. And it's like, it's not a surprise.
Yeah. Well,
there's billions of Asians. Why would it be a surprise?
After we cracked the code on this one.
We figured it out.
Yeah, no, that's true. I'm saying in general, though, like, they continue to need proof because they're old and they grew up in a society where... In a society. If you can call it that, where we didn't know if we could have a bankable blockbuster anchored by an Asian lead.
Yeah.
So it's old thinking, and it's going to die out like everything else.
Well, when they die.
That's what I'm saying. R.I.P. But, yeah, I mean, it's only a matter of time, and the more and more, unfortunately, we have to prove that audiences are there for these more diverse casts, and and again, obviously there's a line between having a diverse cast and pandering,
right,
or doing it wrong and having like an all-black cast written by a white guy,
right.
Obviously there are ways to do it right and wrong, but I think only time is going to help the situation.
Yeah,
where these people are going to get themselves out of the industry, and it's going to be proven time and time and time again that you can put money behind a multicultural cast or a niche story about a Cambodian family or something. Just stuff that you don't usually see in Hollywood.
I disagree. I don't think it's ever going to stop.
Okay.
I think the people who make the movies are going to be beholden to the people who finance the movies, and the people that finance the movies are just going to give the money to their sons who are fucking pieces of shit.
Just have babies that are equally prejudiced.
Yeah, it's just gonna continue
closed-minded
forever. I mean, we're in 2021 and we're looking at Squid Game and going, can you imagine? Can you believe? There's not a white.
No.
The only white people in this thing are the villains.
Despair not, my friend, because they will always go where the money goes, and the money is going with more diversity and going with these different stories than we're used to seeing.
I guess that's true. Yeah.
So even if they don't do it for the right reasons, they will be swayed.
Yeah. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, all that to say, can't wait for Tarantino's 10th movie.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what it is. I mean, I will be there. I will be there first day.
Speaking of diversity in Hollywood, I want to get on this and then we can get out of here.
Okay.
The Mel Gibson casting was very interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
Apparently, Hollywood cannot find a middle-aged white dude not named Mel Gibson.
Schmel Schmip.
Schmel Schmipshim. Yeah, we don't want that algorithm. I don't understand this casting for a couple of reasons, but let's talk about it.
Okay.
The Continental is a spin-off movie based in the John Wick universe, and it's going to be about the Continental, the organization that's basically a safe space, ironically, for assassins.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere that they can rest their weary heads whilst in the middle of murdering.
And say anti-Semitic remarks.
And for some reason, this spinoff is not starring the black dude who's the host of the Continental in the John Wick movies. It's not starring him.
Mm-hmm.
It's starring Mel Gibson, of all people. Now,
oh, I'm so sorry. I have to interject here. The Continental will explore the origin behind the Hotel for Assassins. My friends, we have another prequel on our hands.
oh God, it's not a parallel movie. It's a fucking prequel.
Yes.
God damn it! Why, God? Why? Why do you keep putting prequels in front of us? Why do you keep giving prequel inspiration to these filmmakers? Make them do better. Ask them. Force them.
Please.
To make more original content.
Something.
Content is king, God. You know this. There's no reason to keep making these movies. So, here's the thing. When this got announced and it made its rounds on Twitter, you had two lines of thinking. You had people going, why Mel Gibson? Why?
Yeah.
He's a garbage human being. He shouldn't be put in anything. There's no reason why he should be in this movie. And then the other line of thinking was, it's been, 10 years?
Yeah, it's been
10 to 12 years. Do we not forgive the man? Can you not make a mistake? Can you not live to fight another day?
He made more than one mistake.
Yeah, he made a couple of mistakes.
Yeah. Some oopsies.
Here's my thinking on this. I am not Jewish, so
Okay.
I can't speak from that perspective.
Sure.
I am half black,
Uh-huh.
and I can't speak from that perspective.
Yeah.
On a personal level, if you get caught saying the N-word as a white dude, and in the context that he said it, guess what?
Especially in the context that he said it.
It's over for me.
It's
Okay?
over.
It's over. Because, here's the thing, bud. No one who talks like that when they're drunk doesn't at least sort of feel that way.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that you can say to me that's going to make me believe otherwise. That's why why do you think that I have such a fucking ire for Hulk Hogan? Do you think it's just random?
Yeah.
Do you think that it's just this, or do you think maybe it's the fact that like he's wrestled and rubbed shoulders with so many persons of color, a lot of them black folks,
Yep.
and then this is the way that he feels about them.
And then at home, he has a different tune.
So, personally, it's an unforgivable to me. And if I were Jewish, I would also probably have a stance on that. The only reason I even mention that is because I'm not, so who am I to forgive or not forgive
Sure.
somebody for being anti-Semitic?
Not your place.
I mean, on a personal level, I don't forgive him for the anti-Semitism either. So, without the anti-blackness, the racism, if he was anti-Semitic, I would still be like, well, you're a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
Be that as it may, if Hollywood deems his crimes not worthy of blacklisting him,
He's been vanquished to TV.
That's their call.
Mm-hmm.
My beef with this is really, do we need Mel Gibson in anything else? It's like seeing Kevin Costner in something, or like Kevin Spacey, or like any of these other 60 to 70-year-old white dudes. It's like, if you're not Kurt Russell, I just really don't want to see you. I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, unless the role calls for it. Because the problem is, the role never calls for it. They always get a guy like Bruce Willis or Mel Gibson, one of these middle-aged white dudes, and then they're always doing shit that they wouldn't be able to do in real life.
Yeah.
I love Bob Odenkirk, and Nobody is a very like interesting idea and concept, and I thought it was really interesting. But at the same time, that motherfucker would never be able to. He had a heart attack on the set.
No,
On the set of Better Call Saul. Still, he's not even doing anything in Better Call Saul. That's a talkie.
Yeah.
So, I just don't. Again, I mean, we haven't seen the movie. Don't really know the full plot of the movie. So maybe he's just like a guy behind the counter. I highly doubt that. I'm sure he's some kind of weathered assassin, and he creates this organization for other assassins. Yada yada. But he's gonna be kicking a bunch of ass in the movie.
Of course. And they, I'm sure, picked him because they're like, oh well, people will be able to look at him and be like, oh, that's an old action hero. Like, they want him to be identifiable as Mel Gibson because of, who he was in his 20s and 30s. But, again, you're picking him because he's Mel Gibson.
Do you think maybe they know that this is so controversial and that's part of it? That he's an assassin after all, so it's not like he's a good guy. It's not like John Wick's a good guy. He kills people for money. So do you think that there's a level to it?
I don't think so. I think they went as far as going, who's an aging white action star that we can pull into this thing?
But they had to know. They had to know that this was coming. You really think that they were so naive to think that it was just going to blow over? That, like, enough Get the Gringo or whatever straight-to-DVD movies that he's done has been enough. The Beaver.
Yes.
Has been enough to, like, allow him back into Hollywood's good graces.
I honestly think they're that naive. I think they think that people either forgot or didn't even realize that happened because they're young enough that they got into the John Wick movies post when they could have known about all this Mel Gibson stuff.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, Mel Gibson, I've heard about that guy, Mad Max, right? And then,
you think that people will go, Mad Max,
Mad Max, right? Am I right?
Yeah, his first movie, right?
So yeah, I genuinely think they just picked him because he is an iconic action actor, thinking that people would forgive him for his past sins at this point.
Think about what young people will have to do if they don't know who Mel Gibson is. When they go see this movie and they go, "Oh, who's Mel Gibson?" And then their parent is like, "Oh, he was an old action guy, really good actor, great director,
said some stuff,
and then you have to Google it. You have to go, "Oh, well, why has he been such a pariah these past 10 years?"
Yeah.
And then you look it up and you go, and then I guess you have to make that judgment call. Was that enough what he said? Would that bother you?
I think they're betting on people, or there being enough time between that.
Yeah, maybe. Time heals all wounds.
I think they feel like we've had enough cool down time to accept Mel Gibson back in a leading, or not even leading, but like a major role.
It's wild to think what studios like that think of the consumer, right?
Mm-hmm.
It would be hard for me to let a friend, a person that I know personally,
Huh?
It would be hard for me to let them back into my circle on a personal level. A person that I personally know, on a personal level, back into my circle,
right?
Having had a rant like that. Like
sure.
if I go to, a house party or something and somebody has like a racist rant,
mm-hmm.
and then they text me the next day and they're like, that's not really me, right? I was just drunk. I'd be like, me. Dog, when I get drunk, I don't say shitty things like that. I say super nice things. I want to kiss people. Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
That's not, what do you mean?
It's not how this works.
Yeah. So it's funny to me and fascinating, really, that these studios will look at us, the consumer, and be like, it's been long enough. Yeah, it's been.
Yes, man.
They're okay with this guy now, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't even fucking know Mel Gibson. Why would I forgive him? I don't even know him. He's done nothing for me.
I don't know. I'm guessing.
You could take all of his movies away. What movie would you miss?
I mean, the Mad Max movies. I'd miss the Mad Max movies.
Nah.
Lethal Weapon.
Nah. They're good movies. They're good movies. Would I miss them? Nah. Honestly, the only movie that I would probably miss is The Patriot. And that's like, exactly.
All right.
I just have this weird thing with that movie. I just like
making some judgment calls right now.
I mean, I don't know. And it's just so funny. Ironically, that's the fucking movie, right? Where he's like probably the most himself.
Sure. Yeah.
I scalped a bunch of Indians because I was angry. Please forgive me.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I just keep
I brutalized the women and the children because of anger. But that's not really me. Please forgive me. Yeah.
Well, the most saddening part of this entire thing is that I think that this is probably going to be a success. It will lead to more opportunities for Mel Gibson, and he's going to be back, baby. And probably, again, based off of, I'm sure they did like a general poll of how people would feel about Mel Gibson being in major mini-series or whatever this thing's going to be. And people said, I'm fine with it.
What's it going to be on?
Stars?
Stars.
Yes.
Interesting.
It will be a 3-night special event TV series.
Oh, it's only 3 episodes?
Yeah. Produced by Stars.
Interesting.
According to Deadline. Yeah. Look at the hate in his eyes.
Exactly, man. Like, who told him that facial hair was okay? Why?
Bad.
I mean, he looks like a guy who owns a plantation.
He looks like a Sith.
Yeah.
He's aging like a Sith.
Yeah.
Unlimited power.
I made a movie about Jesus. Yeah, you can take that fucking movie.
Yeah, don't need to do that one.
Yeah.
Don't need to do that one.
I mean, think about it, really. Like, the Mad Max movies are dope. They're great movies, for sure.
I mean, Braveheart, right?
Braveheart, but really, though, when's the last time you seen Braveheart?
It's been a few years.
And like, I mean, did it really deserve, like, 8 Oscars?
Probably not.
You know? Apocalypto, people really love that movie. I could do away with it.
It was fine. I enjoyed it, but yeah, I don't go back to watch it every year. You know,
I just don't. I guess this is me personally. It has nothing to do with Mel Gibson. I like Mel Gibson as an actor.
Yeah.
I do like the shit that he's done. Lethal Weapon 1 and 2 were great.
Mm-hmm.
Then 4 has a charm to it, even though it's terrible. It has a charm to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it introduced me to Jet Li.
Yeah.
So there's that. I mean, I was just like, what is this? And then you go back and watch all of his movies and you're like, oh, okay, he's incredible, he's the greatest. But you take all that away, I don't know if you really lose that much when you really think about it. I mean, I'll say this, maybe this is controversial. I think Fury Road is the best Mad Max movie.
Oh, no, I 100% agree. And
Right?
I'm a Mad Max fan, and I 100% agree.
So if that was the first movie and you had no context for it, honestly, you watch Fury Road and you don't need the other movies. I don't
Not
think
really.
having the other movies builds that out more for you, but really you don't need the other movies. It's a standalone classic.
Yeah. For many people, it is a standalone movie. A lot of people have never seen the Mad Max movies outside of that one. So, all right, yeah, I guess I can agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
You
Come
whittled
to
me
the
down.
dark side.
You whittled me down. We
To the
don't
dark
need.
side.
We no longer need Mel Gibson.
We don't need him. We don't need him. Think about it. Take away. I mean, you know, there's plenty of guys who just take away their entire fucking Army Hammer, just all of his movies. What do we need him for? You know, take them all away.
Yeah. What was that?
Well, except for Social Network, obviously.
Yeah, he's a side character, and that doesn't really count.
Yeah, it's not his movie.
It's not his movie.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. True. There's plenty of guys.
Uh-huh.
Plenty of nice.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Think about that though. Think about how many like white dudes you could pick where you're just like his whole career. You can just get rid of it.
Well, I'm thinking even specifically like problematic white dudes.
Yeah, just problematic white dudes.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Kevin Spacey.
Mhm.
Let's think about this. Other than House of Cards and a smattering of like tremendous stuff,
Sure.
Usual Suspects, American Beauty.
Mhm.
Do we really need his filmography?
No. I mean, he was a great actor. Oh, Seven. He's great in
Seven, yeah, he's great in Seven. Yeah, he's great in Seven.
Playing a creep.
Okay, so I guess, what are the rules to this taking away their... Do they have to be in it, or does it have to be their movie? Because when I was talking about Mel Gibson, I was saying
His starring
movies.
roles.
Yeah. Mad Max, Patriot, Lethal Weapon, all of that shit can go.
I think
not going to miss him.
I think it does have to be their starring role. So
Is he the star of The Usual Suspects?
no, I don't think so.
I
But
don't think so.
it's an ensemble, so
Yeah. So nobody's really the star.
right. So we'll let that one pass. He
What'd you
clearly
say, Seven. He's in Seven. No, he's not the star. That's Pitt and Morgan Freeman.
So that stays. American Beauty, he is the star, but honestly,
Take it.
take it away. It's fine.
Take it.
I don't need
It's a
American
creepy
Beauty.
movie anyway.
Yeah,
Take
I don't need it.
it. Excuse me.
House of Cards, take it away.
Take it.
Take it away.
Take it. Don't need it. Don't need it.
So has been judged.
What about John Hamm? You have to take away Mad Men.
He's not problematic.
No.
though.
I'm just saying, like, the rest of his. Maybe this is mean. Maybe we shouldn't go down this road. We could just start talking about, like, these guys haven't done anything.
No, I mean John Hamm.
No, he's not problematic at all. I love John Hamm. I'm just saying, like,
Well, he's worth his weight in gold based off of Mad Men and the Black Mirror episode he was in.
yeah. Damn, you weight that really high.
Huh?
I said you weight that really high.
Oh, yeah,
That's
no.
enough to, like, keep his whole career just off one
Oh
episode.
yeah, no, I'm happy with that.
Ooh, Justin Timberlake. Take his whole filmography, bro. Throw it in the garbage. Like, what has he done?
Oh yeah, of course.
What has he done?
Do we have to get rid of NSYNC then?
No. You can't do that.
Don't be crazy.
Yeah. You're being silly now. You're being a silly goose. No. His filmography, though.
Oh, yeah, of
Every
course.
movie that he's done. Has he done anything of note? Even in The Social Network, like, it was like, oh, that's surprising that he actually, like, pulled his weight. But then, fucking Jesse Eisenberg walks in and you're like, oh, he's getting out acted. He's just getting, he's acting circles around.
It's not even close.
Him and Andrew Garfield just eat him up. They fucking eat him up, man.
Mhm.
But they eat everybody up. They
Yeah.
they fucking run amok in that movie.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm gonna keep thinking about this off
Stop
camera.
canceling actors, please.
Yeah, they don't need to. Yeah. All right. I think we got it right.
Yep.
All right. Well, before we get out of here, we have to do it, people, because I feel like I was going down a negative road.
Sure were.
And so the only way to recover is to do our cheers of the week. Oh, shit. I guess I deserve that. So, Adam.
That was for John Hamm.
Please tell us your cheers of the week.
My cheers of the week, my friend, is going to be for TV backlights.
Okay.
I will explain. Clink me up. Cheers. So, I, like, most normal people, never thought about getting a backlight for my TV. In fact, I vividly remember when there was a TV, I forget who the manufacturer was, but a TV came out that had a backlight built into it. And I always thought, like, that is the most stupid thing. You're going to pay, like, probably $500 more just to have light shoot up behind your TV.
Okay.
Stupid, right? Makes no sense.
Yep. So far, so good.
Then I saw on Fat Kid Deals a kit for TV backlighting. It's a Govee Immersion TV LED. And I found it. It was like $60. Whereas there's a way more popular, way better quality one from Philips called the Philips Hue that you can like fully customize. It's really high quality, but it's literally like hundreds of dollars. So with this deal, I said,
With a steal, with a deal. Steal of a deal.
with a steal of a deal,
Steal of a deal.
I decided to go in on it. I got it. It has a little camera that monitors your TV screen, and based on what's on the screen, projects the color behind the TV. And I'll tell you what, it's a game changer.
Really?
It's incredible. It is so cool. It's so immersive. It adds an extra element that you didn't know you needed. But I mean, I gotta say, if you can get something around the price range I did, $60, I probably wouldn't pay more than like $100 for it. I say do it. It's really, really cool.
Huh.
It's literally just, it's super easy to install. It's just strips of lights that you glue onto the back of your TV.
Yeah.
It has a smartphone app.
You have it on the living room TV or your bedroom TV?
No, I have it on the living room TV. I haven't turned it on,
Okay.
but it connects to your home, your smart home system. So yeah, I mean, it's just really cool. It works with movies, games, all that. Very cool stuff. You wouldn't think it, but it is very good. So check it out.
All right.
Yes.
I love it. Off the beaten path with your cheers, my friend.
Yes.
Shit, I had it.
Oh no.
Oh, I got it.
Okay.
Cheers to safe spaces at these rock shows. This is apparently kind of the point of those shows, of the crowd, of like the vibe. And I kind of glossed over it a little bit at the beginning of the show, talking about how good it felt to feel seen at a show like that. But it was a real moment for me, and I told Paris about this, and she was like, "Well, yeah, that's kind of the point. I mean, it obviously doesn't always go over that well, and it's not always, put into practice the way it should be put into practice. And obviously, there's problems with every scene, every crowd, whatnot.
Couple of Nazis spoil the bunch,
right? But the idea is that it's supposed to be a safe space for everybody.
Right.
And to have gone to my first show and felt that, the first 30 minutes of being there, being like, oh, I feel welcomed into this space. It felt like walking into a guy's apartment who you didn't know but was like super friendly. And was like, oh, I'm glad you're here. And you're like, glad I'm here? You don't even know me. And they're like, oh, just a nice guy.
Yeah.
It's like happy to see you for no reason.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's because you went in with a bit of apprehension, and you were greeted instead of with hostility, or you probably had your cockles up.
Yeah.
But going
Straight up.
Yeah, going in like that, and then being put at ease, I'm sure was a really revelatory experience.
Yes. Exactly. Said it better than I ever would.
It's my job, don't worry about it.
All right. I think that's it, right?
I think so.
All right. Well, let's review these brewsies and get the fuck out of here. Tonight's beer was from the Big Storm Brewing Company, the Blueberry Lemon Torte Ale. Obi, what'd you think of this brew?
Well, I enjoyed it as much as I did when I was out there on the farm.
On the farm?
Southern Hill Farms. If you're in Orlando, check it out. It's only about a half hour away, but it feels like the middle of nowhere, which is nice for a change.
Can you see that?
It is...
Okay. Oh, yeah. I turned you off. Focus on
It's not going to focus. Right. But yeah, no, it is... it's perfect for drinking on a warm day out in the middle of nowhere. Very refreshing. It has a nice citrusy, but also blueberry tartness and citrus kick that kind of cuts in there. Otherwise, in an otherwise mild beer, I'm not getting a lot of flavor from the beer itself. It's mostly just that sort of fruity flavor, but it's not an artificially fruity flavor, which bumps it up a little bit for me. Not doing a whole lot outside of that. Very drinkable. I'm gonna give it 4.5.
4.5. Yeah, 4.5. Yes. I would. That's my goal. Yes, 4.5. 4.5. That sounds good. When I think about the flavors, the suckling juices. It's. I'm gonna give it a 4. It's pretty. It was solid. Yeah, just man. Let me get one more swig.
Okay.
Lemon comes through on that back end.
Mm-hmm.
Blueberry, kind of muddled. I was really expecting it to be blonde ale. I don't know why. I guess maybe the lemon part of just had me in my head thinking it was going to be a blonde ale.
Yeah.
Was not, obviously.
No.
It's a very rich color.
Yeah.
I do like the coloring.
I think it's clear that they used real blueberries in this.
Yeah.
Just by the color alone.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that it bursts with vibrant blueberry sweetness. I get that lemon zest, that lemon peel on the back. All in all, though, I guess my critique is that the flavorings are a little muddied, and so kind of washes out, and it's just an ale.
Sure.
Which again, 4. It's a solid beer.
Yeah.
It's just not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah. I think honestly on a hot day, I would drink these all day.
Yeah. On a hot day, all day.
All day, hot day, boom.
Big storm. All right. 4 for myself and a 4.5 for you, good sir. This has been the One Beer In podcast. For myself, Marco Dupa, and for Adam Obesius Rodriguez.
Go get on a farm.
Thank you guys for listening. Drink delicious beer and have a beautiful evening.
We love you.
Wah, 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 wah.